that sun's bright. Can you see that? I was up here on Sunday, which for me right now is yesterday, and I had my broad-rimmed hat on, my sunglasses on, long sleeve shirt, long pants, boots, and leather gloves. I was covered. Except for I forgot one thing. That reflection is cooking my face. I'm a little burnt on the face today. I am so happy. See, I'm getting all choked up. So happy to be able to give you a little bit of an update. You've seen pictures on Facebook and Instagram and different places about what's going on with the horse barn, but it's real little snippets. I haven't done a proper horse barn update pretty much since I started the horse barn. Well, I've taken long enough on this job that the weeds are starting to grow up on the inside of the stalls. And even though I've tried to keep up with myself, I have a pile of scrap boards and tools piling up. A lot of the siding is on, at least most on those three sides and a little bit on the front. I still need to put siding up here and finish half of the roof. Yesterday when I was working on putting the metal sheets on the roof, I honestly thought I was going to be able to put all 18 sheets on there, but I only got 9. That's only half. It was way too hot up here, so every time I put a sheet on, I would sweat out about a quart of fluid, so I had to come down the ladder, cool off, drink some more fluids, and go up and put another sheet on. Hopefully I can get the remaining 9 pieces of metal on this side of the roof this week. I am very excited about the progress I've made on this horse barn over the last 6 weeks, but it dawned on me yesterday that if I would have built the fence first, I could have had the horses contained while I was building the barn. Oh well, lessons learned, right? Some things I still need to figure out on this barn is on this end where I have the feed and tack room. That's going to be all enclosed. I'm going to do my best to make it fairly rodent proof. At least the larger rodents like the raccoons and the possums and the skunks, things like that. I know that mice and rats, they're going to be difficult to keep out. Some of the things that I plan to do to help make this room more secure is, of course, I need to build a nice door. I haven't designed the door for this yet, but I'm also going to pour a concrete slab floor in this section only. The 2 stalls will be dirt floor covered with the wood chips. In this room here, it does have the solid walls all the way up. There will be a full door, at least a screen door made out of hardware cloth at a minimum. This wall will also be solid all the way across. And then up here where in the rest of this building there's going to be ventilation that comes under the roof on both sides. On this one I'm probably going to cover all of these openings with hardware cloth. Hardware cloth is a heavy wire mesh like this type I used on my compost sifter. It's measured by the size of the hole in the mesh. This is a number 4 because each hole is 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. It takes 16 holes, 4 down, 4 across, to make a square to equal a 1-inch square. Over on the top of a chicken coop door, this is an example of a number 2 hardware cloth. It takes a total of 4 squares, 2 up and 2 across, to make a 1-inch square. Example of a number 8, which would be 8 squares down and 8 squares across, giving 64 openings per 1-inch square. But I can't find it. That's the type of hardware cloth that's often used on the bottom of a beekeeping bottom board, a hive bottom board, for full ventilation of a hive. The bees can't climb through it because the holes are so small. Back at the horse barn, I will likely be using a number 4 hardware cloth on the openings in the rafters above the feed and tack room. That's these openings up here. That size of hardware cloth, that screen, should be plenty to keep out the rodents, allow lots of ventilation, and I already have a roll in the shed. With a good solid door, paneling, hardware cloth for ventilation, solid walls here, and a concrete floor, I do hope I can keep the critters out. Another challenge that I need to tackle is building gates. These will be the stall gates. I need to build them in such a way that the horses can lean their necks over it and see. Now the horses won't very often be stuck in the stall. They're going to have free reign of all this space back here. But there may be times that they're going to be put away, and we need them to be able to stick their head out so they still feel like they're a part of this space. They can breathe, they can see each other, and they just feel a little more free. Plus Maggie gets a window. Would have been way cooler with the drone, but I haven't been able to figure out how to fly that thing. I need to get my kids to show me again. Well, that's about all I can do for you for a horse barn update right now. My apologies for not having a better series of horse barn progress along the way, but it's one of those projects that just takes up so much time. I don't often want to fiddle with the camera while I'm doing it. Let's see if we can find Maggie. Hey girl, how you doing? Hey look, horse, horse mint, horse mint, horse. Thank you so much for following my story and my journey. If you have not yet subscribed to the Daddykirbs Farm channel, why don't you go ahead and do that? Hit subscribe, that way you will be notified, as long as YouTube can keep up, with the future updates here on the farm. I would also appreciate a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you appreciate what's going on here on the Daddykirbs Farm channel. And until next time, until I have another update, I'll talk to you soon. She really is a sweet horse, aren't you, girl?